Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel. This is day 4 in the 100-day challenge, and I hope that by the time I upload it and give it a title, that I will know what my focus is. I think it's going to hit a number of marks. It's going to show some collage. It's going to show the need for or the practical or the reality that quite often we start projects, abandon them for days, weeks, years, and then come back to them and finish them up. So again, hang in there with me and hopefully it'll become clear to both of us what I'm actually trying to do here. So there was a time when it seemed that every time I went to a thrift store, I was finding chipboard book kits. And I bought them because I didn't know any better. I had missed the boat, essentially, on the whole scrapbooking craze and the card making craze. I think I made a couple of cards in my life. I enjoyed it, but it just seemed like I must have been busy at the time, probably couldn't afford the supplies, and it just seemed like, it was an all or nothing prospect. So a long time ago, I'd say probably 2 years ago, I pulled out one of these kits. I really like this. This is just gift wrap, so it's very thin paper. And I began covering these pages, 3, 6, 7, 8 pages, making 2 of them my covers. This one and another one I'll show you shortly. I also coated them with a sealant like the matte medium. Not so long ago, I added the distressed paper reinforcements. I inked around the edges, and it just sat. And it sat and it sat. Excuse me. So then at some point, I decided that I had taken apart I don't know the title anymore, but it was a book with sort of these vintagey baby and children images. So I thought, okay, I really like a lot of these. Why don't I let that be my overarching theme for this book? So the other day I worked on a few of the pages because, of course, 8 pages times 2 sizes, 16. I can't possibly do all that work in front of you because the video would become far too long. So I did a few pages, and I'll show you those. And I also prepped a few pages thinking that, okay, I know what I want to do here. If I clip all this stuff together, it will go a lot better. So let us jump right in. Maybe this is my cover, so maybe I'll leave that one for the time being, but I'll get into this. So what I had done here was I fussy cut these kids. You know what? I think this was a Sarah Branach, the Simple Abundance woman, author. She had done a book on sort of Victoriana type imagery, and I'm pretty sure it's her title. Anyway, so what I had done, fussy cut and inked, because again, I really don't think you should ever have to watch anybody ink stuff. So I'm just going to apply some glue. Oh dear. Apply some glue, and I'll show you in a minute what brought on the oh dear. Oh crap. Let's leave that little foot there for the time being. I'll have to reattach it. I use the Yoo-hoo Are we in frame? Pretty well. Okay, I'm just going to, I hope that's centered. Lay these babies down. This was why I said crap, because that tiny little spindle on the bear pull toy tore. And then this little foot also ripped and it came off there. And again, I'm asking you to let that be our secret. Okay, so that is cute. Oh, I should say that I covered these pages of the chipboard panels with, I think it's scrapbooking paper. I don't think that was, no, it's not a digital. So there's sort of that recurring color scheme. And I also, would you believe I just have one hank, I think that's the word, of sari silk. And because I had a lot of just lining material in my stash, I thought, well, why can't I make some do-it-yourself sari? So lining material well, it's very, well, I don't know about now, but it used to be really quite cheap and available in fabric stores by the yard. Solid colors and frays like nobody's business. So I would say that I probably dipped this whole, let me show you, this whole wad in probably a tea bath. And then it didn't pick up, you know, synthetic fibers never really pick up dye that well, to be honest. But it was enough to sort of color it a bit. So, you know, scrunch it up, squeeze it out, and let it dry sort of in a big ball, and that's what you end up with. So it certainly is another alternative and a great substitute for sari silk. Oh, now I suppose I lost my little... Oh, great. Now I lost my little piece that I was going to... Oh, I shouldn't be wasting your time like this. I will just cut off another chunk. You know, maybe like so. And because it's already been pre-creased, it's easy enough just to, you know, to figure out where you want to glue it down. Now, I think I'm going to leave it fairly free-form. And maybe this is a smidge bigger than I want because it's basically almost in that girl's eye. So once my Fabri-Tac begins flowing a little better, I'll probably just put this here. It will become a bit of you know, it kind of softens the page a bit because it's fabric. Again, because I'm clumping this together, it shouldn't have bleed through of the glue. Just put a little puddle of that there. And again, if it were to become obvious, and while you've got that, before that glue sets, and you do have some time with Fabri-Tac, you know, you can sort of create some pleating gathering kind of an effect. And, you know, later on when I have this all together, if I decide that this is a little too big, then obviously I can trim it. You may know, if you've been watching for a while, that I live on a farm, which means that I spend a lot of time in my car if I have to go anywhere for anything. So I always am listening to audiobooks. Excuse me. So the other day I was listening to an audiobook, and it was Dean Koontz, who I think has kind of, his books are a little off the wall in some ways, but so descriptive, so funny, so clever in the description. Anyway, he was trying to describe this particular companion that you know, the narrator was talking about, and she was an old lady. And even though calendar-wise, I fall into the category of old lady, I certainly don't consider myself old. But anyway, he was describing her, the look of her, and instead of just saying that she was wrinkled, he said that her face looked like it had been pleated. And I laughed out loud because I thought, oh, that's so clever. And it's, you know, it's likely to stick with a person because it's not just saying that, you know, she was wrinkled. Oh, so I'm so busy talking that I kind of wasn't paying attention to that. I probably, can I still lift this perchance? Yes, I can. I'm going to put some of these flowers, because you can see that I fussy cut them from a page, and part of it, you know, gives me an awkward straight edge because it was behind something else. You know what? I didn't, obviously can't talk and craft at the same time. I wanted this, come on, baby, come on. I wanted this a lot lower on the page, like more like down here. Because I've got these cute little baby face flowers that I want to put in here. Am I going to have to cut that girl off now? Oh, that creates a problem. Wouldn't it be simpler just to pay attention? Okay, I'm going to quickly sort of raggedy cut this so that I might yet be peeling that other flower up. Mind you, I guess that doesn't look too bad. So I could put this here, because I don't really want to cover too many of the words up, because it's sort of a recipe in a way. So maybe that could be there. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, people, I don't know. Is this a how-to or a how not to? Okay, one thing at a time. Let me maybe put this partly under that sheet as well. I might have to put it over a bit and trim. Clearly, I don't want to cut that girl's face off. Then I can do this way and still add that word, which is the name of those recipes. Nursery fingers, which sounds a little strange, to be honest. But this way, it almost looks as though I had a plan. And again, I try not to agonize too much about placement. We'll see if I find that I need to reapply glue, then obviously I will. And it looks like I do. Maybe I should, because I've kind of wasted a lot of time doing and redoing here, I will, I'll show you some of the pages that I have completed. I'll show you what I intend for some of the others. Okay, let's see what we have. So you saw me do this just now. I may choose to add a sentiment. And what I did before turning on the camera was look through my stash of words that I had stamped in a variety of colors and a variety of papers. So you can see I've got this on some thin brown paper. I've got this on just a scrap of white paper. This was dyed. This was a little bit of a margin. This was again part of a page, a wider white space. We'll see. Okay, so I have that, and I don't know the order of these pages. Clearly that has to go that way. This was a sticker, and I tried to, excuse me, grunge it up and make it look more like it fit here by doing that. And this was just a piece of 1.5 inch satin ribbon that was kicking around. I don't know where it came from, but it seemed to pick up the colors in the image, so I used that. I have this. Now this girl was not having a tea party by herself, but I ripped that off. This is some paper. I don't know what this is. I bought it in a package at a flea market or at a garage sale. It looks like ribbon, but in fact it's paper. So I just ran it across, some of that across the bottom. This was part of a page border that ran all the way around these landscape type pages in the book. I think something like that. Yeah, that goes there. So I'm trying to use some of them up because they're cute. Probably need to do something more here. This page here was part of a poem or something that was in the book. Don't have an idea there yet. This one I can do here in front of you. This was obviously a little envelope that I decorated and covered with some papers. Same colorway. And I think that, well, no, I had that baby there, so I must have already decided that I was using a baby theme. I did this card, this tag yesterday. So she sits there. I have another tag. And these, front and back of this was a freebie from... I'm sorry, I don't remember. But I kind of decided today that I would use more of these baby flower faces to finish this tag, but I wanted to do it in front of you because, again, when things overlap and are hidden behind each other, you sometimes end up with unfortunate edges. So I think my plan was to put that against there, which sort of looks, you know, normal. Then I was going to maybe put that there and that there, letting that some of that scrolly work show. Or maybe it was like this. See, it's been 15 minutes. You can't expect me to remember. So maybe it was like that. And, well, okay, let me get those down and then I'll tell you what I intend with that word. In an upcoming organizational video, I'll be talking about how I sort my sentiments. And sentiments, of course, is a very big category that captures, or at least the way I look at it, captures the idea of stickers, found words like in magazines and books, stamped words like I just showed you, the words that you sometimes get in a scrapbook or scrapbooking kit page. And I think you'll see I've used that somewhere else in this little book. And sticker sheets themselves, digitals. These are an Artie Mays one. Anyway, what I wanted to show you here is this. This is this was a bunch of fabric stickers. I used my gathered twig to just grunge it up a bit. And so it's a sticker. But I don't like those little hearts. So I'm here, no, not those scissors. I'm here to say that if you don't like something, don't use it. Chop it off, throw it away. Use it elsewhere. You don't have to use things as found, as intended, because it's your project. Whoops. It's your project. You decide. And if I don't want those kitschy little hearts, I'm not using those kitschy little hearts. So there. It's my power, and I'm claiming it. Okay, cool. So that is that. So now you can see. Oh, and I had a small. No, that's not it. Somewhere I had a tiny narrow scrap of this yellow lining material. Again, gone MIA. Anyway, just trust me on that. I will be adding, like this, I will be adding a piece of, no, I probably won't, because it's going to make that tag impossible to stick in there. So forget that. I'm not going to. So that tag would go in there like so. Okay. Oh, and then the back of this is just a fussy cut that I had done. I inked around the edges because it was really quite white. There's another fabric sticker that I chopped the hearts off. I might need to put a word here because that seems like quite kind of an open space. Is any of this appropriate? What is that kid eating anyway? Is that powdered milk? Condensed milk. Maybe just for the sake of completion, I will use this. Yummy. I will use my dry brush. Like I didn't, dip it again, or I didn't ink it up again. Maybe that could be a bit smaller. Oops, wrong one. I realize sometimes I start sentences and don't finish them. Did I finish the thought about an organizational video that shows how I sort and store my sentiments? Because if I didn't say it, I intended to. Okay, good. Another page done, or a couple pages done. How are we doing for time? Ooh, boy, it's hard to keep these things. Okay, I have this page ready to go. I have this cover ready to go, and that's about it. So I'm going to try to speed up, but I want to draw your attention in particular to this page. This was much larger. I didn't chop the father right out because, hey, he brought some flowers and he's wearing his fedora, so he's clearly happy to be there and thinks it's an important occasion. So let's let him have some glory. Under this word dream is a tiny little word that I had chosen and glued down. And then I thought, well, no, dream is so much better. I'd used this size and this style in that color, and it said peaceful, which it is peaceful, so it was fine. But this is so much better. The color is better, the size is better. And now, even more than before, this looks like, what was she thinking? Like it was an afterthought, or it was a mistake in judgment or something. And again, I'm being, it's my thing, and that's coming off better than I thought. I was going to say, and you can see, compared to some of these, I had inked it to make it, dull it down a bit. This is coming off way better than I had hoped for. I thought that it would either tear and leave residue behind, which I guess it did a little bit. I thought it would also tear this photograph. But this worked a lot better than I thought. So my point here is, and the moral of the story, because I always, if there's a moral of the story, I like to draw your attention to it, is that if you make a decision and you find out later that, you could have made a better decision. Oh, I know why I put this there. Part of this is actually, was actually white on the page itself. That's why I stuck it so far over. Anyway, I've smoothed that out. And what I thought would be the solution here was to use more of this yellow lining material. Number one, I thought, it's opaque enough that it will cover whatever mess I might make. It's a recurring thing. We've seen it in one or two other places already in the little book, so no one will be surprised or gobsmacked to see, she used it again. So let me just try to find a piece that is... And again, it color-wise, it works with the glow of these lighter lighter parts here. I think I'll just hack off. Oh, I should have Fabri-Tac getting ready to flow. You can drive yourself crazy with these threads here too off this lining stuff, because it really does. It frays pretty badly. And if your hands are at all chapped, like mine tend to be often, you'll find that you can't get rid of the damn thing. Okay, so once that glue is flowing, I will sort of, again, do a little bit of a gathering type thing. Because this book is going to go together with rings of some sort, I have them stored on here just for a little ease of use. But I also have these. Are these the things that we used to, in school, used to call chicken rings? And if so, why? Don't know. Some of these are split rings. And I think that the diameter might not be big enough. Plus, I think I would have a heck of a time opening it up enough to actually get it on the pages, through those thick pages. So maybe that wasn't the best purchase I could have made. It seems to me that might have been a dollar store purchase. But anyway, I have these rings and I'll probably end up using a couple of those. But anyway, let's get this lining down. I do want to make sure this part is covered, because that's, like I said, where that white was. I can, because it's already creased and crinkly, I can make this go wherever I need to, so I can make it go up. I can follow the way the fabric wants to go. Have it come down. And again, because there's so many folds and creases in it, if by some chance the Fabri-Tac were to bleed through this really thin stuff, it would be easy enough to hide it in these folds and creases. One thing that I haven't started using on these videos, or even when you're not here to watch, is pulling out my glue gun and using it. When we had our business, the glue gun was always plugged in. It was always being used. I did floral design and other things, a lot of craft classes for kids and for adults. The glue gun was always part of the tool set. This L-shaped thing is a scar that I still bear from my hot glue gun days. Of course, the glue dribbled on my hand, and you know, the skin is so thin there. Dribbled on my hand and almost immediately hardens. So you peel it off, maybe you cry, and you get your butt over to a sink and flush it repeatedly with cold running water. Now, I don't know if I want to. I'm not scared of glue guns. Hey, you can't get through life without some battle scars. But I just haven't pulled it out yet. So I do have a few more pages to do. I do have the cover to put together. I don't think I should take, well, maybe you'll stick around for this part yet. So what I have here, I think this might have been part of a curtain panel, but I like it. It adds another layer. Oh, I need my glue again. this glue. Maybe while that is running again. This was part of an artist pad. So I like the pink little, I don't want that barcode showing, obviously. But this is part of a fussy cut digital, or a digital that I fussy cut. So I'm going to glue this down, let that, oh dear, I shouldn't have put glue all the way to the edge because I'm not quite ready. I'm going to let as much of that pink show as I can. Come on. Yeah, that glue is going to dry. Let's leave that face down. Let's get this mash down, and then I can show you how I intended to layer this. So this is going to cover up much of the page, but of course, likewise, most of it will be covered by subsequent layers. Again, with something like this, I'm not going to worry about gluing to the very edge because I think it is nicer, to be honest, if there is some dimension and some movement there. If I worried about gluing down every single fiber, it takes away a bit of the look that I'm trying to create. So now I will, maybe I'll use this because this is a bit thicker. This paper is thicker and glue stick might not be quite. Seems like overkill on this thin paper, but so be it. I think that's going to be it for that. So again, I'm trying not to get too close to those holes, these holes, because of course the rings will eventually, let me hold that up, will eventually be there. And they need room to function. Cover this glue up, get it out of the way. Now, I fussy cut these children, and this was, oh, I know, I backed it because there's this skinny little thing here and those little rabbit ears. So I didn't want it to be, weak and puny. So I also like this fussy cut flower. So I don't know, or is that overkill? Maybe it's a bit much because it seems rather bright. You know what? I think I'm not going to use it. Or maybe I'll use it down here with the word. We'll see. Let me, let's pull out the art glitter glue. And I don't know if it has to do with, because obviously I haven't traveled with my glue, so it's not a change in elevation thing. I did find that art glitter glue was misbehaving when I went from my farm in the prairies to the Rocky Mountains in Canmore. We have a timeshare there, and I go every year and do sort of a retreat, a week-long retreat. So I take everything I own, lock, stock, and barrel, and I move into the unit for a week. And the art glitter glue was just constantly bubbling up. So I chalked that up to a climate or an elevation, a change in elevation issue. But yet today, I know earlier when I was using it today, here at home, I noticed that it was doing the same thing. So go figure. Cover it up. Whoops, missed the hole. Boy, time to clean this. So yeah, this is quite thick. Mind you, you can get away with it on a cover. There's sort of an expectation that it would. Oh, that's cute. Cute, cute. And then I didn't know what else to do, so I thought, oh, we can shove it under there and call it memories. That would be kind of cute. But do I want this peony? I guess that helps fill the space a bit. It is a bit bright, though. I think peonies are among my... Oh, here it is. Among my favorite garden flower, and something that I can easily grow here. Peonies are so maintenance-free and unforgiving. I have one that is probably 25 years old. And I believe one of my plant books says that that they can get as old as, 40 or 50 years old. So that certainly beats those guys that get winter killed at the first, 3 months after you've planted them. But yeah, peonies I think are probably my favorite, although I don't want to pick a favorite. They're certainly right up there. And I'm wondering why this is lifting. I guess it's good in a way that it is. So you can see how little of this natty stuff is actually showing now. This too is lifting, but that's okay. It allows me to tuck that in. And doesn't it almost seem as though it was a brilliant design choice? Because in fact, the shaft of that flag is pointing directly to the word. It's almost like a flashing light. Look here, look here, look here. Oops, better check if it's straight before this sets. Now I'm going to need a smidge more glue here now. Memories. Now, I'm sure you can probably see it. There is this ridge here where this cardboard cover from the art paper pad, there's that thickness, and then this is just copy paper, so that's quite a bit thinner. So now I'm probably going to have to find something else to put here to help disguise that. I'm not going to make you watch that though. Let's pretend that this had rings. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use and I might have, yeah, I need this size of ring. And that's none too big. Or I suppose I could use ribbon or fibers of some sort. Okay, so let's pretend this is done. Oh, I'll have to do something here. It might just be a pocket. Wouldn't a pocket be great there? And again, I don't know if this is the right order for the pages. I would be more cognizant of what looks good opposite each other. But we're just pretending, so it doesn't matter. So you can see that I still have some work cut out for me. Yeah, I think this page should go closer to the front. Maybe that looks better. Okay, that's just playing now. You don't need to watch me play. Okay, I'm going to continue working with this. I will, once I've got her done, I will post a picture on Instagram. Thank you for joining me for day 4 of the 100-day challenge. I will see you again tomorrow with something equally breathtaking. She said, hopefully. And yeah, I hope that you have chosen to embark on your own 100-day project because, again, the benefits are too numerous to mention. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.